In isolation, I learned to deal with my emotions instead of running away from them.
I actually had a corona scare right before isolation. Life is not perfect, and neither are we. Welcome to Raw and Unhinged. Lara and Steph will be bringing you real and insightful chats on health, psychology, fitness, and nutrition. Lara is a qualified nutritionist and fitness enthusiast who loves her pizza, and Steph, a registered psychologist, author, and renowned brunch queen. We hope you're ready for today's chat. You go first.
Hey guys, and welcome back to our series of Raw and Unhinged. Super excited. So we've made a bit of a movement. We're separated. We're in different states. So we're going to be like this for a while. So I've traveled back to Sydney and Steph is still in Melbourne. We miss each other so much. So these Zooms are going to be our interactions and how we, talk to each other, everything like that. We're definitely going to miss our walks as well. But how are you feeling without me by your side?
I know. It's definitely different. We had such a good ISO routine. We would walk, and now I did actually go for a walk by myself today because I had your voice in my head being like, are we going for a walk? And I was like, okay, I got to make her proud. I'm going to go for a walk. And thank you for instilling that habit in me, because I secretly don't like walking, but I did it because you would hold me accountable and we'd have some really good conversations. So I've changed that perception, and now I view a walk as a time to reflect, to catch up on my phone, and to listen to a podcast. So changing that perception of I don't like walking.
And talking about isolation, that brings us to today's topic. So we're going to talk about isolation. We never expected to be, I never expected to be in isolation at all in my whole life. But, we were put in there, and we're going to talk about, how we handled it as well. With me, I created some really amazing habits. It was hard at first, with the gyms closing, with just, not being able to go out for lunch and everything like that. I felt really restricted, but, we got along, and we actually, I'm going to say this, we thrived in isolation.
Yeah, we isolationed.
We isoslayed.
Isoslay. And look, this conversation isn't about invalidating people's experiences or saying, it was easy. Everyone had their struggles, but there were certain measures, we put in place, and we're choosing to see what we did slay in isolation. We're choosing that perspective where we're not choosing to focus on what was challenging. And that's what helps people thrive, is your perception at the end of the day. So that's what we're going to talk about, is our experience, I guess, challenges and lessons we learn, and hope that, everyone can benefit from that and share with us what they learned too.
100%. Before we were in isolation, I was in Sydney, and I just happened to be in Melbourne when we were put in isolation, and I made the decision to stay down there, obviously, because I had my family, I had my friends, and I just felt more comfortable in my home environment, and it was probably the best decision I did. And along with Steph, we kind of fed off each other. We went for walks each and every morning. We did our F45 Zoom sessions as well, and I think from there we just created really, really good habits and a routine, which made us stick for the next 3 months. Isn't that right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was interesting. Before isolation happened, I actually left a role at work, a secure working from home role, to pursue my goals and dreams, to travel and do all that sort of thing. And then I actually got my own COVID scare. I didn't talk about it, but I actually did a job and got a phone call saying you may have come into contact. It was so scary. When you're on the other end of getting a COVID scare, it is completely different. So I self-isolated, and luckily, it was negative. So yeah, at the start, it was really, I guess, scary if you have been in a scare. Yeah. But I guess developing a routine with you was really helpful, because like I said, I left a role, I was sort of on my own devices, and I created busyness and productivity out of whatever I could.
Yeah. And I even think, just creating those healthy habits, like for me, I was absolutely devastated when we went into isolation, because obviously gyms are closed. I couldn't do things that I would normally do on a daily basis. Like my whole routine did a 180. It literally did. And, going for walks, still doing things, creating content just became my main priority, especially because I left my job in Sydney and then I went to Melbourne, and then I was kind of full-time in social media and my nutrition consults. That I put a lot of time and energy into that. And Steph, I cannot thank you enough for absolutely pushing me. I remember those walks in the morning. We would talk about what we wanted to do, what were our aspirations, and you're like, what do you want to do, Lara? I was like, I want to grow my nutrition. I want to grow my consults. I want to grow myself as a nutritionist. And Steph pushed me to do my own website, and that's done and dusted. My own website was up, and I would never, ever, ever have done that if I wasn't put in isolation. So things like that, like what would you never have done if we were put in isolation?
Oh, do you know what? It's funny because we all have this guilt about working on our own passions or our own hustle because we need to be in a job that's secure and safe and pays the bills. And I took the guilt away because it's like, well, I can't work, or I can't.
It was like, I can't do this.
I can't distract myself. So it honestly, isolation gave us permission to do what we wanted, and we all needed that permission. Whether that permission was to rest, whether that permission was to digest information, whether it was to spend time with families. What I loved about isolation was it gave you permission to do what you wanted, because we often don't give the permission to ourselves.
It's so true. And even just time to work on yourself. Like, I know that I kind of ran away from a lot of my problems, especially growing up and everything like that, and being put in isolation, going for walks with you. I had to confront them because, I couldn't hide from them anymore. I couldn't stay busy every day and, always stay on the go. I actually had time to sit down, to talk to you about it, to, see a psych about it, and actually confront these feelings too. So I think it gave me a really good opportunity to discover myself and kind of deal with these things as well. And I think it really helped a lot of people do that as well. I know a lot of people in the same boat.
Yeah. And it's so good you say that, because what I've learned recently is we all go through seasons. We go through a learning season where we learn, we go through an earning season where we earn money, and then we go through a reflecting season. I think a lot of people were affected financially, so it wasn't an earning season, but the people who really stepped up used it as a learning and a reflecting 100%. Season. And I saw that in you on our walks. You were super reflective personally, professionally. And I also use that time, we were all impacted financially, but I use that time to learn. I learned about YouTube, and I learned about different social media mediums, and I wasn't guilty about doing that, because I always feel like, should be doing this, should be focusing on this, being productive, but it's okay to sit down.
Took the guilt away. Yeah, it took the guilt away from everything. I actually had time to work on my social media. I actually had time to grow my TikTok. I had time to work on my YouTube. And it's like, I don't usually have that time, but I was put in that time and I wanted to work on it. It gave me permission to work on it. Before, I used to feel guilty for working on all these things. And I was like, well, hang on, my Instagram's actually, my workouts are helping a lot of people at the moment. So it gave me more permission to do that and more permission to put more effort into it. So I think, it's great.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest gift of this is realizing what you really want to do and what you are aligned to do. My problem in life has been being a jack of all trades, master of none. And I've wanted to go in the direction of what really aligns with who I am. And I've learned just because I can do something, it doesn't mean I should be doing everything. So just giving ourselves permission to do what we actually want to do and what energizes us, and I know for you, it's TikTok. When you would talk about TikTok, your face would light up and you'd be so passionate about it. So I gave Lara an assignment. I said, right, this week I'm going to learn about YouTube and I'll prepare a presentation. This week you learn about TikTok, because I freaking suck at TikTok. I just don't get it, over 30s. And then we'll come together and we'll educate each other.
And you know what? Even talking about TikTok, it gave me the biggest distraction. It came into a hobby. I loved it. And it gave me an excuse to put makeup on, to look nice as well. I know a lot of people struggle through that time, but, just filming content and filming TikToks, it gave me an excuse to, have a shower, get changed, put on a nice face of makeup, be smiley, and put myself in the best mood for the day. So just finding little things as well that helped you along with that. Even I remember the first day we were put in isolation, you told me to write down things that I'm grateful for. And I started writing down things on my mirror each morning. I'd wake up, I'd write something down, wouldn't check my phone, and write something I was grateful for and stick it on my mirror. And then I had a whole array of Post-it notes. And that was probably the best thing I ever did. And that was the best advice I got given, because, it put me in the most positive mindset for the whole day. I wouldn't wake up being like, I feel like crap, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm in isolation, I'm not allowed to see these people, I'm not allowed to see these people. Instead, my brain turned, it did a 180, and I was like, I'm going to be positive today, I'm going to make use of my time, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to motivate people. So that was probably the best advice someone ever gave you. So thank you for that. And it kind of, it made isolation so much better.
Yes, no, thank you so much. And you're absolutely right, because when you're in a state of gratitude, the part of your brain, the gray matter, actually grows and it changes, and you focus on outcomes, not on hurdles and conditions. Look, there's always going to be bad stuff going on in the world. There's always going to be challenging times. But if you can program your mind and your mindset to be effective, it's not about being positive all the time. That's BS. No one's positive. It's about being effective. You really can rise above and become resilient in the face of everything. And starting your morning with gratitude and starting your morning with an abundant mindset really puts you in the best position to help other people. That's what I truly believe and advocate.
So I'm going to give you a bit of a quiz. So I want you to name me 2 things which you are proud of yourself for doing in isolation.
So to answer your question, what I'm most proud of in or coming out of isolation and reflecting back, definitely number 1, I maintained my health and fitness. I exercised every single day except maybe 2 days where I, didn't exercise or I went for walks, and I still maintained a healthy lifestyle. Yes, there was days I binged, but I didn't let that binge distress me. And that's the whole goal of my programs and my work with clients, is that your behavior no longer distresses you. The second, I guess, thing, or 2 that I'm going to 1, is my professional development. So I invested and I did a property course. So I'm learning how to pay my mortgage off really fast. And I also have invested in some professional coaching as well, because like I said, investing into yourself, you can bring the best out into your clients. And YouTube, learning about YouTube, oh my God, it's another freaking world. But there's 2 things. I guess it's maintaining my health and fitness, because that's a staple for me. If I don't have my health, I don't have my wealth. What's the point? What's the point focusing on your wealth if you don't have your health? Like, that should be your number 1 priority. And then number 2, professional development, investing and learning. It wasn't an earning time for me. I didn't work much at all, but I used the time to learn, which will hopefully lead to the earn.
To confront my feelings, as I said before, I think I left a lot of things bottled up, especially moving states. I think, I left a lot of things unturned. I still wanted to spend time with my family, everything like that. So I was really proud to, spend my time at home and, spend time with my family and really, confront those feelings, which I kind of kept hidden as well. And, it made me feel better as a person. It made me feel more happy, and especially being surrounded by my family. I am very happy, I'm a family type of girl. The second thing that I am proud of is definitely moving my body every day. There were some days where I couldn't be bothered, but for me, exercising, I love to exercise. I love to inspire people through my workouts as well. And getting up each morning and doing my workouts, I am absolutely so proud of myself for doing that, because, I'm one step ahead of most people who, didn't exercise. They felt sorry for themselves. They probably would have drunk a lot, everything like that. So I'm super proud of myself for moving every day as well.
Yeah, you hustled, you killed it.
I hustled, I isolate.
Isolation. And look, it's amazing. Anyone can really take what they want from a situation. It comes down to your perception. And that's something I really have honed in from, is your perception is your reality.
It's so true. It's
right?
So true.
The way you look at the world, the way you look at isolation, is your reality. And, it's not about being productive all the time and smashing yourself all the time, but it's about, I'm having a day today to have some time out or to relax. And that's okay. It's how you perceive what you do that affects how you feel.
And I'm a big one for saying, and I always say this, you are in charge of your own happiness. So if you wake up and feel absolutely crap, that's your own fault. Whereas if you wake up and feel like, I'm going to kill today, I'm going to give it my all, I think that is, you're creating that as well. So people who did that should be so proud of themselves. I think that's probably the biggest or the most amazing trait to have.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're watching this, honestly, be proud of yourself and focus on what you did well in isolation. Don't worry about all the extra chocolate you ate. Don't worry about the alcohol. It's funny. It's done now. And now it's like, okay, what is next? And on that note, what is next for you? You've moved back to Sydney.
I know.
Where do you see the next 6 months? What do you hope to happen?
Well, I was actually telling Pete in the car yesterday, in isolation, I created a really good routine. I would get up in the mornings, I'd go for a walk, I'd do some content, I'd exercise again, I'd do this, do that. And I think I really want to maintain that routine, even though I'm out of isolation. And of course, I still, go out for lunches, everything like that. But I still see myself doing exactly what I'm doing right now. And that's a good thing, because it shows that, I created a really good routine. I created healthy habits that I want to maintain. So I'm excited. I think I'm going to do some really, really cool things. How about you?
And it definitely, what I can see in you as well is what you're doing now aligns so clearly with your vision and where you want to be. Like, I know you said you left a job, and I said I left a job, and we're just flourishing because we're focusing on aligning ourselves with what we want to do. So I think that's why.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in the next few weeks?
Yes. Okay. So for me, I'm looking at over the next 6 months. So I'm actually speaking to a coach today. I'm really excited. For me, I know exactly what I want. I know where I want to do. I just need someone to give me the tools to help me there. And I really believe in coaching. So over the next 6 months, my book is going to be out physically in stores.
Yay!
Well, hopefully, I didn't mean to say in stores. I meant physically out, but now it has to be in a store because I said it. Manifest. I'm manifesting that. I'm going to try to get it in a few local bookstores. Hopefully, do a reading out there. So the book is finalized. It's in its final stages. It should go out at the end of June. Yeah. Then from that, I'm going to launch my course. So I'm very excited for that. So everyone, stay tuned for Food Freedom. So it's about liberating your life that revolves around food and other addictions or vices that we all use.
Okay. Yeah.
And do you know what else I'm going to manifest? I'm going to manifest love. I'm going to find love in the next 6 months. So if you're watching, be ready.
I know, there's coming for you. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that one there. We're also open to any suggestions as to what you want us to talk about, because we literally talk about anything under the sun.
Yes, let us know. Have an amazing weekend or week. We've got a long public holiday today, so we're going to go and enjoy that, aren't we?
Yeah, and enjoy, things are happening. Things are moving fast. So, use what you learned in isolation and definitely take it out in the normal life, because things are going back to normality and we're super excited. So enjoy, guys.
Excited. Thanks, guys.